An Iranian official said on Saturday that a nuclear site in Isfahan has been attacked twice by Israel overnight. According to Associated Press Akbar Salehi, deputy governor for Isfahan province told state TV that the strikes caused damage, but no casualties. The official said strikes also took place in local towns of Lenjan, Mobarakeh and Shahreza, as well as the provincial capital city of Isfahan. The war between Israel and Iran erupted June 13, with Israeli airstrikes targeting nuclear and military sites, top generals and nuclear scientists. At least 657 people, including 263 civilians, have been killed in Iran and more than 2,000 wounded, according to a Washington-based Iranian human rights group. Iran has retaliated by firing 450 missiles and 1,000 drones at Israel, according to Israeli army estimates. Most have been shot down by Israel's multitiered air defenses, but at least 24 people in Israel have been killed and hundreds wounded.
سحرگاه و بامداد امروز رژیم صهیونیستی حملاتی را به برخی از نقاط در شهرستان‌های لنجان، مبارکه، شهرزا و شهرستان اصفهان داشت. البته صدماتی داشتیم، آسیب‌هایی را به این نقاط داشتیم. از جمله اونها خب 2 نوبت تعرض به سایت هسته‌ای اصفهان را داشتیم.
Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, has been declared a target of Israel's Operation People Like a Lion for the first time. This was done after the Jewish state took on a new wave of Iranian attacks on the morning of June the 19th, which included the destruction of a hospital in the south of the country. While inspecting the missile impact sites, Defense Minister Israel Katz of Israel stated for the first time that Khamenei now has no right to live. According to him, as part of the military campaign, the IDF forces received instructions and know that in order to achieve all goals, Khamenei must undoubtedly no longer exist. This is a person who has stood at the head of a powerful nation for decades and has enormous ideological influence, the defense minister explained. He uses it and openly declares that he supports the destruction of Israel. He mobilizes all available resources, even at the expense of his own people, for this purpose. And today we see evidence that he personally gives the order to shell hospitals and residential buildings. Arriving at the Soroka hospital, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu himself publicly supported the topic of eliminating Iran's supreme leader. The head of government explained that no one is immune from an Israeli operation and that all options are on the table, but did not provide additional details about the operational plans. The Israeli leadership has tried to tactfully avoid the topic of Khamenei's possible elimination since the start of Operation People Like a Lion, but in public speeches, Netanyahu has regularly pointed to a possible regime change in Iran as one of the indirect results of the military campaign. As several high-ranking Iranian sources told Reuters, Khamenei's inner circle, which consisted of 15 to 20 military advisors before the war, was significantly thinned out in the first days of the military campaign. However, according to these sources, the survivors include government officials who advise Iran's supreme leader on diplomatic, general political, and economic issues. However, the changes in the Islamic Republic's leadership have provoked serious problems within the mechanism of government decision-making and increased the likelihood of strategic miscalculations to an extremely dangerous level, Reuters sources admit. According to multiple recent reports, Asghar Hejazi, Khamenei's senior intelligence advisor and a powerful figure within the Islamic Republic's security apparatus, has entered secret negotiations with Russia to secure an escape route for himself and his family. Russian officials, it is claimed, have offered to guarantee his safe passage out of Iran should the regime collapse or the security situation spiral out of control. Hejazi is no ordinary official. He stands at the nexus of Iran's intelligence and security structure, controlling access to Khamenei and overseeing critical internal operations. Even if he is seeking an exit strategy, it speaks volumes about the level of fear and instability within the regime. The Indian outlet The Week likewise reported secret contacts with Russian intermediaries to plan a secure corridor out of the country in case of regime failure or foreign escalation. The White House is considering using one of the most destructive weapons in the U.S. arsenal, the 13-ton GBU-57 bunker buster against Iran. Bloomberg reports this. The GBU-57 is the only weapon currently capable of destroying Iran's deep underground nuclear facilities, including the Fordo complex, which is hidden beneath a mountain. Should U.S. President Donald Trump decide to support Israel not only politically but also militarily, a strike on Fordo could be one of the first targets. Israeli forces, although they have an impressive arsenal, do not have the means to effectively attack such a protected facility. Only the U.S. has both the GBU-57 itself and its carriers, the B-2 stealth strategic bombers. These aircraft can carry 2 of these bombs. In October, such bombers were already used against underground Houthi storage facilities in Yemen, demonstrating their effectiveness. According to the New York Times, Iran has already prepared an arsenal of missiles and weapons for retaliatory attacks on American military bases. Tehran is expecting possible interference and is ready for escalation. White House sources said Trump held a closed-door meeting with the National Security Council that lasted about 80 minutes after returning early from the G7 summit in Washington. The content of the discussions is being kept secret, but analysts believe the key issue was the use of bunker buster against Iran's nuclear facilities. The U.S. has already deployed significant forces to the region. The Diego Garcia Air Base in the Indian Ocean houses B-528 bombers capable of carrying nuclear warheads. The Pentagon has also reinforced air units with KC-135 and KC-46 tankers, which allows the U.S. force to significantly expand its range. The U.S. is also strengthening its position at sea. The USS Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group, equipped with F-35 and F-18 fighters, as well as electronic warfare and threat detection equipment, has been in the Arabian Sea for 7 months. It will be replaced by the USS Nimitz, which is already approaching the region. The Navy's role in the Eastern Mediterranean and the Red Sea is no less important. There, ships with the Aegis system and SM-3 interceptors are already operating, including the destroyers USS Arleigh Burke and USS The Sullivans. These ships have taken part in intercepting Iranian missiles aimed at Israel. U.S. ground forces have used the THAAD system to intercept ballistic missiles.